Do you ever watch YouTube creators and you think, wow, I'd really like to know some more personal stuff about them? Well, if that's the case, this video is for you. Hey everybody, good morning. It's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So I got some questions both on comments on videos and also in my Facebook group, which if you're not a member of, why? It's positive only and you should totally join. No pressure. Link in description box. Okay. So people had some questions for me and I am an open book. I am here for the people, so I'm going to dive right into it. So the first question is, how did I become a canine nutritionist? And for those of you who don't like long videos, I'm going to keep these answers very short and succinct. So hopefully that'll be good for you. I'm outside with the dogs, and apparently the bugs are already trying to get me. I became a canine nutritionist many moons ago. Originally, I started out working for a pet food company, and I very quickly started to realize everything that was wrong in the kibble industry. It was a real eye-opener for me, and it just took me into this research spiral, which if you're new here, I'm very much research-based. And I went down this rabbit hole of trying to learn, like, what are the healthiest options for our pets? Like, why are our pets having all of these health problems that they previously didn't have, like diabetes, which I have, and it took me down this rabbit hole. And so I began to research, I began to talk to others, and in looking for answers from the veterinary community, I wasn't really getting the answers that I was looking for. I got a lot of pet food marketing that has been just spoon-fed to veterinarians, and then it doesn't really answer the question, right? Which is true of both the veterinary field and the medical field, right? We treat symptoms. In most cases, we're not actually addressing the cause of the problem, which is why medications like Mounjaro, which I'm taking, are huge, because we're actually addressing the problem instead of treating the symptoms. I took multiple certification courses. Being a canine nutritionist in the United States is not as recognized as it is all over the world. But there are some accredited certification courses that you can take, and I did those. So I did a practicum, I had, and I take clients from time to time, although I've really cut back on that since I've been focusing on myself and my health journey so that I can put 110% into myself, because I am somebody who puts everybody else first. So I made a promise to myself that I was going to put myself first. And this is the first time in my life that I've done that. And I'm getting great results. The next question was, do you have a scientific background? I would say yes and no. It is not my profession currently, is not scientifically based, although it is in the medical field. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, and I don't claim to be. So when I graduated from high school and went to college, it was a rude awakening for me. I really had to struggle in college to learn all of the things that high school didn't teach me. And don't worry, I'm not going to go off on a tangent on our school systems, but the short version is I was not taught in high school how to function in college. So in college, I had to learn how to research. I had to learn how to, get to the root of a problem. I had to learn how to function just as an adult, right? Because here I am as an adult, first time in my life. And it was really eye-opening. And so I love to read, which is funny because I have ADD, so I have a tendency to kind of be all over the place. I'm one of those people that's reading like an article, 3 books, and this and that, and I jump all around. So not a scientific background. My degree is in psychology. I love the human mind and how it works, which is one of the ways that I work so well with others, and I'm able to adapt a style to fit a need. So, some people are more visually based, some people are more auditory, some people, right? Everybody has a different learning style. And so throughout my career, I've been able to help people, each one of them as an individual. And that has been hugely rewarding for me. What is your favorite way to spend the weekend? I'm pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. It's why I haven't done one of these, get to know me type videos before. I'm a very simple kind of person. Like I eat simply, I do things simply. So what I like to do on the weekend is I like to get everything done before the weekend, right? So like chores, laundry, like anything. I like to get all of that done. And then I love to read or binge watch on Netflix. If any of you are a big fan of Greek mythology, there is a 2nd season of Blood of Zeus, which is a phenomenal animation. I mean, just beautifully done. And the storylines, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but they are really great. So I love to just binge watch Netflix stuff. So that's kind of what I do on the weekend. Meal prep for the week. Again, I'm really kind of boring. I do like to go thrift shopping. I like to go to antique stores, although I do have myself on a very tight budget right now because I'm currently working to become debt-free in the next 2 years. So I'm not buying a whole lot, but I love to go shopping and look at things. What is your favorite thing to do and you can't say your YouTube videos? So my YouTube channel has really become a main focus in my health journey. And I would definitely say that it is the majority of my hobby currently. Now, since I'm not allowed to say that, even though I did, I really am looking forward to reaching my goal weight and getting back into sewing. I had my own business for a short period of time where I made clothing and I really loved it. I still have pieces from that time that I'm holding on to that even though they're too big, I'm gonna make them smaller. So I love to sew, I love to read. I'm very crafty, so I like to, make things, and it just kind of strikes me on a whim, and then I get obsessed about it, and then I make it, and then I have all these supplies to make that one thing, and then I move on to something else. What are the breeds of your dogs and their names, and how did you get their names? So, I'm gonna start with my old man first. So Bear is our super senior Pomeranian. He was actually my wife's dog when I met her. He's a rescue. And he was named, his full name is Bama Bear, because she is a big Alabama fan. So that's Bear, his name, where he came from. Oh, we estimate him to be anywhere from 15 to 17 years old. He's an old man. I tell people he's old as dirt because we don't know. But he still runs around like a puppy sometimes. And I give that credit to the supplementation and the diet that I do for my dogs. Next up, we have, we'll go down in age. How about that? So next up we have Sega. Sega was part of my original breeding program. And for those of you who don't know, my wife and I used to breed standard poodles for service work. So she was part of that breeding program. She has, of course, retired because we retired from breeding dogs. She is 5 years old and she's a standard poodle. She weighs roughly around 53 pounds. And she is the type of standard poodle that is more cat-like. She wants to come to you for affection when she wants affection. And then when she doesn't, she wants to do her own thing. She is super athletic. Super athletic. I mean, just crazy the amount of muscle on this dog. I can't work hard enough to keep a layer of fat on her. Like, she is just, her body is just naturally lean, and she's very, very toned. And she's got a very muscular square build, which is not to standard for standard poodles. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Her name is Sega because I love to play video games, and the Sega Genesis system was a big part of my childhood. And I always thought, even when I was a little kid, that it would be a really cool dog name. And now I have my wish because I'm an adult and I make my own decisions. So I named her Sega. While we're talking about dog names, I should probably mention that it is not my preference to name dogs human names. I like for them to have names other than a human name. And that will come into play shortly. So next up is Sushi. Sushi is one of the puppies from our retirement litter, and she is very much exactly like her mom. You will see in pictures of her, she is a standard poodle. You will see in pictures of her that she has a full tail, and I like to mention this because we did not dock any of our poodle tails. I morally and ethically do not believe in that. I won't go off on a tangent about it, but our poodles had full tails. So if you're wondering when you see her in videos and pictures why Sega has a short tail and she has this big, beautiful full tail, it's because she was actually a product of our breeding and we did not dock her tail. So her name is Sushi. And she got that name because that is my favorite food. And again, when I was a kid, I always wanted to have a dog named Sushi. So I'm an adult, I make adult decisions, and I name my dog Sushi. Next up, we have Kevin. So Kevin was not planned. He just kind of fell into our lap. And he came to us as a puppy with that name. And the short version of the story is that after COVID, prices of dogs in the breeding world and also in rescue went through the roof, right? Everybody was getting a dog. Then COVID ended, and then economy dropped, and prices absolutely bottomed out because people didn't have money to spend to buy a quality, well-bred dog. So it was actually one of the main reasons that we felt that was the responsible thing to do to retire our service dog program, because we did not want to produce puppies that we did not already have homes lined up for. And it was wild. So anyway, I won't go off on a tangent, sorry. And I had always wanted a Whippet. I've had Italian Greyhounds before, and loved the breed. I fostered a Greyhound for a little while, love the breed, Sighthounds in general. They're just fantastic. So anyway, my wife and I really fell in love with Kevin. And all of the puppies from that litter had human names, right? Because most people are not weird like me and they're not hung up on that. They just name their dogs whatever. So we ended up getting Kevin, and the name just fit. Like, he is a Kevin. If you are a Kevin, then you know and you understand. He's a Kevin. Through and through, it fit him. It was perfect. He's a Kevin. So instead of changing his name, we decided to just keep it because it really did just embody his little personality. So yeah, so that's how Kevin got his name. The last question was about nausea and what you can do about it and how to treat it. And I feel like that is a video in and of itself. So I'm currently working on making that video for you. So if you ask that question, just hang on for me. So yeah, so I hope this was entertaining for you. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you're looking for more information that's informative, I guess, rather than just about me, please check out my other videos. And don't forget, the link to the description is in the description box. I can't talk this morning. The link is in the description box if you're looking for a support group that's positive, right, where you're not going to get attacked for asking questions. So definitely join us. We'd love to have you there. And as always, be kind. Rewind.